In the vibrant city of San Diego, California, lived Melissa Parker, a 40-year-old marketing manager known in her neighborhood for her kindness and warm personality. Melissa had always been the type of woman who brought people together, whether through small get-togethers at her cozy home or by helping organize local community events. She lived in a charming two-story house in a family-friendly suburban neighborhood, where everyone knew each other by name. Melissa was proud of the life she had built. She had a teenage daughter named Chloe, who was in her final year of high school, and though being a single mother wasn't always easy, Melissa managed with grace and determination. Her home had become a hub of laughter, music, and shared meals, especially on weekends when she often invited friends and neighbors over. One summer, Melissa decided to host a backyard party to celebrate Chloe's acceptance into a prestigious university on the East Coast. It wasn't meant to be a formal event but rather a casual gathering with food, music, and plenty of good cheer. Invitations went out across the block, and nearly everyone was eager to attend. People knew Melissa through memorable parties, full of warmth and genuine connection. The night of the party finally arrived. The sun dipped low, leaving streaks of pink and orange across the California sky. Melissa's backyard glowed under the string lights she had carefully hung earlier that morning. Long tables were set up with colorful dishes, homemade pasta salad, grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, and a variety of desserts. Music played softly from a speaker in the corner, creating a cheerful, easygoing atmosphere. Neighbors began arriving one by one, carrying side dishes and drinks. Among them was Julia Harris, Melissa's closest friend who lived across the street, and her 19-year-old son, Alex. Alex had always been a polite, somewhat reserved young man, who had recently started his first year of college. Melissa had known him since he was a little boy playing basketball in the cul-de-sac with Chloe, though in recent years, he had grown into a tall, confident young adult. The party carried on joyfully. Groups of neighbors chatted near the tables, kids played on the grass, and adults gathered around the fire pit Melissa had set up in the corner of the yard. Melissa floated gracefully between groups, making sure everyone had food and drinks, her laughter ringing out as she exchanged stories with friends. It was in the middle of this cheerful evening that something unexpected happened. Chloe stood up to give a short thank you speech for her mother's efforts in organizing the celebration. As she finished, Alex suddenly spoke up in front of everyone. He wasn't the kind of person who usually sought attention, so all eyes turned toward him immediately. Alex cleared his throat and said, "I just want to take a moment to say how much this neighborhood means to me. Growing up here has shaped who I am, and people like Mrs. Parker have been such an inspiration. I don't think I've ever told her this, but she's always encouraged us, always believed in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. And I think Chloe's success is proof of what a wonderful mom and role model she is." For a moment, silence hung in the air. Melissa blinked in surprise, touched by his words. Then, as if on cue, the backyard erupted into applause. Neighbors clapped and cheered, Chloe grinned, and Melissa felt her heart swell with pride and emotion. She hadn't expected such a heartfelt acknowledgement, especially from Alex. Throughout the night, people approached Melissa to say how much they agreed with Alex's words. They spoke about how her generosity and openness had always made the neighborhood feel like a family. Melissa realized that the boy she had once watched grow up next door had turned into a thoughtful young man who wasn't afraid to speak from the heart. After the speeches and applause, the party carried on with renewed energy. Music grew louder, kids danced, and adults lingered at the buffet tables sharing laughter. Melissa found herself reflecting on the moment. She thought about how rare it was for young people to openly express gratitude, and she felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing her efforts had not gone unnoticed. Later that evening, as the fire pit crackled and the crowd slowly began to thin out, Julia walked over and hugged Melissa. "I think Alex really caught everyone off guard with that," she said with a smile. "I've never seen him speak so confidently before." Melissa smiled warmly. "He really surprised me. That was beautiful. He reminded me tonight why I love hosting these gatherings. It's not just about food and fun, it's about building memories and connections." As the final guests departed and Melissa stood in the glow of the string lights, she looked around her yard with gratitude. She knew life wasn't perfect, and challenges would always come, but moments like this made it all worthwhile. Her daughter's bright future, her neighbor's support, and even Alex's heartfelt words reminded her that community and love were the foundation of everything she cherished. That night, as Melissa finally sat down, exhausted but happy, she realized the evening had become more meaningful than she had ever planned. It wasn't just a party to celebrate Chloe's success. It became a celebration of kindness, gratitude, and the bonds that tied their neighborhood together. And though Alex's words had caught everyone off guard, they had also left a lasting mark, reminding everyone present of the importance of speaking from the heart and recognizing those who quietly make life brighter for others.